Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Season 2, Episode 9 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, What's My Line? Part 1.
That's right.
So yes,
I feel like more happens in this episode. Possibly, like I would think if it's a two-parter, like less would happen somehow than like your average episode. But I feel like more happened, and I think that's because they didn't have to bring it in for a landing.
Yeah, there was no
like
last 2 minutes
anything.
wrap up.
Yeah, they just kept building it and then said, "Ah, come back later." I was like, "No."
It would be kind of nice, honestly, if there was never a wrap up on an episode.
Yes.
It just kept seamlessly going, like, oh, every day is a crazy day if you're the Slayer.
Like a modern TV
especially
show.
this day, which is career day, the day that will potentially establish you for the rest of your life through some stupid test.
Did you have a day like this in your life?
We did not have a test. Nothing associated us with a job. There was a career fair that you could go to and meet people that were like, like, oh, I do this and we do that and whatever. I didn't go to it though. So
I was gonna say if my school had a day, it was optional because I didn't go, and I was always like as a kid, I always heard about these tests. And I couldn't wait to take my test. I was like Willow. I was like, oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to find out what my optimal profession would be. And they never gave me a test, and I've always felt upset about this. And I thought maybe that was just my school, or I'm the weird one out.
I think these tests are a thing of like the past, and like the writers being older than high school kids. Like I had this when I was in school in the 70s, so let's fill this out or whatever.
They should still do it. I'd be curious.
I think it also is now in this
weird junk dumb
in
science,
this culture we live in now too. You don't want to like demoralize anybody, where it's like you would be a janitor, and like and they're afraid they'll shoot up the school.
I demand to retake the test.
Yeah. Every one of them should say, "You're the president of the United States."
You're an astronaut.
Yeah, astronaut kid, Dr. Astronaut. But so it's a career day, and it's not crazy to think that Buffy should be a police officer of some sort.
Laugh now, Missy. They assigned you to the booth for law enforcement professionals.
As in police?
As in polyester, donuts, and brutality.
So pissed off at this. She was so like offended, and then later Giles is like, "That'd actually be perfect for you." And I was like, "That's the reboot we need." Is like she's a cop. She's a cop, you idiot.
Well, season
and also
9, I think it was, which is in the comics. The TV show
how many
ends at 7.
Seasons? Okay.
I believe she does become a cop or a cop adjacent for the Vampire Task Force of San Francisco. I'm pulling shit out of my ass here.
No, I picture like what's her name on Gargoyles or whatever. She could be like a private investigator or something too.
Well, now there's a thought. Have you ever considered law enforcement?
Something like that, where like Jessica Jones style, where like you have an excuse to be there. You're like, all right, fuck it. It's like here's my ID.
Yeah, a bodyguard.
Just
any of that stuff.
Some normal
But like
thing.
the problem is like while those jobs would definitely be suited for a Slayer, the qualities she possesses, they don't necessarily revolve around her actually slaying. So like
but it's a cover to be like,
it is a
why
cover.
Are you here?
But
Why do
you're
you have
under
these
so much
weapons?
more scrutiny
What are you doing?
being a police officer.
I think you'll find that they're under no scrutiny and they can do whatever they want.
This was a different time.
I'm just saying, me watching it was like, that is perfect. Why is she so upset? She just doesn't want to be whatever.
It's not the classy job everyone wants. She wants to be Fairyland
What
princess.
does she want? Okay.
She doesn't really ever say what she wants to be.
Okay, she wants to be like an ice skating princess, I think.
Well, she's pretty good now that you mentioned ice skating.
That's her, right?
That is actually her. Her doing all of her own stunts there. Well, and they go into a backstory of saying how she was such a good ice skater and she would do this, that, and the other thing. But then like she falls kind of like a chump, where I'm like, I don't think she would have fallen like that and like
people
slid
fall
into something.
sometimes.
Not people that are good.
No, people fall.
No.
Yeah.
They don't.
They do.
No.
Everyone falls sometimes.
Not true.
Yeah.
You have a different perception.
Oh, what do you mean?
An athletic person that actually does any form of thing, like it doesn't just trip over their own feet and fall the way she did.
I don't know if it was depicted properly, but the idea that she fell, I find it's like a basketball player missing a shot, or like
but
a dude running,
it would be
hurting himself.
It would be
down,
like
whatever,
like if you were dribbling a basketball, it would like hit your foot and roll away.
Yes.
And it would be like seeing someone in the NBA do that.
That's
it would never happen.
That's my signature move. How'd you know? That's my move.
The way this was displayed, that would not happen.
So it's not the fact that she fell; it's how she fell.
It's just the like sliding on the ice on your ass into the wall. No one like checks themselves into the boards.
It's the most efficient way to do it.
No, but while we're on the topic of people and doing their thing, Darla actually was like ranked 12 in the world for figure skating for a little while. No, I'm not world, USA, in the USA.
Oh, chump.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. Okay, wow.
I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to be so honest with me. And I can only hope that one day I'm in the position to be that honest with you.
So this is not the first to be continued we've had. We had one of those in the first episode, but we did a lot of firsts in this episode. So this is the first episode where we meet like Willie. He's the guy in the bar. The first one we meet Dalton is the nerdy vampire guy.
Even Dalton here, the big brain, he can't make heads or tails of it.
With the glasses.
This is the translator.
Yes, the first episode where we meet Kendra.
You must be number 2.
The Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
That's my terrible Kendra impersonation.
That's perfect. I just wrote Rihanna is in the thing, yeah.
This is the first episode where Oz meets Willow.
Canapé.
I know, and I'm so pissed.
Canapé?
Yeah, and it's all like off camera. You have no idea what happened. Willow shows up again later and doesn't say, "I had the craziest day. All these things happened to me today."
Yeah.
So she signed an NDA or something like that. I'm so upset by all this.
Are you?
Yes, it's like, no, like, oh, well, the test was irrelevant. We just happened to coincidentally be here on the same day as like a cover.
It is weird though because she took the test.
Yes, what's
so
happening?
Like, even if you were a like, you know, we're here to offer you a job and blah blah blah, that wouldn't interfere with your actual education.
No, the secret X-Files like tech, gurus, goon squad somehow suppressed her test results because that is irrelevant.
But I didn't even get my test back.
The test was irrelevant.
And whisked her and Oz off to like the back office teachers lounge, whatever room it was.
Yeah, we don't want you dealing with shrubs.
To give them shrimp instead of shrubs. And we don't know what happened because it was all off camera. I have no clue, and I have to wait, for so many things, but also this, and I'm so upset.
Yeah, but so like Kendra is a great little like.
Yeah.
How she comes in is totally a deception move because you know that these bounty hunters are coming for her, and she appears like she would be one of these bounty hunters. She does assault a man from the airlines, and you're like, oh, that's not what a good person would do.
No, so like this thing that you said the episode did to me, it did it to me. You're undoing it right now. I assumed that she's not a vampire slayer. She's she just is one of the Talaraki whatevers. Up until this moment, you're saying that she's not. You're giving me spoilers?
I'm saying what she says in the episode. She says, "I'm Kendra the vampire."
No, that's what I'm saying. I thought she was lying. I thought she was.
She
just
still
saying
could be,
it in that
but
way or whatever.
I'm only ever going to reveal what we know at that moment.
And
as we know right now, she is a vampire slayer.
Okay.
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer.
So she comes upon them at the ice skating rink where we have Angel and Buffy's skating, which I thought it was funny that they go on a Tuesday because they're closed on Tuesdays. And I'm like, you could just go to an ice skating rink. You don't have to be there alone and break and entering. Wow. But regardless, she gets attacked by one of these large members of this order here, and it's strange because Giles does say like some are human, some are not.
Some are human, some are not.
And you don't know what our Cyclops boy here is,
right?
Because they don't make any notes to show him do anything out of the ordinary. He's strong, but people can be strong.
He can hang with Buffy, but still have other people who have no whatevers. And she just kills him. She
straight up kills him. Yeah. So you don't like. Is he a person?
Throat slit. Yeah.
You almost hope that he's not, but
well, and like. I think that she's justified or whatever.
For sure.
But it still had a vibe of like, wait, can you just kill people? What's going on?
Yeah, nobody really bats an eye about it.
There'll be a murder investigation and then they have their like tender moment, and isn't the corpse like still just laying on the ice there? And I was like, oh, okay.
It's cold there. You can see him breathing.
Oh.
You know what the ring means?
I just killed a Super Bowl champ.
I'm serious. Just go home and wait until you hear from me.
Perfect. I wanted there to be like blood coming out through his stupid hair, right?
I think they were trying to get a rating.
Because it seemed like she just opened his throat, right? So
you almost expect a decapitation because she comes with a flying kick with this sharpened skate.
Exactly. But in terms of romance novel stuff, this is primo business here because he's all vamped out and she's all, oh, you're hurt, and he's like, you shouldn't have to touch me when I'm like this, and she's like, oh, I hadn't noticed, and I was like, oh shit, the Twilight crew, everyone, this is awesome.
You shouldn't have to touch me when I'm like this.
She kisses him while he's vamped out.
Gets all into it.
Yeah. And it's strange because it seems like, you know, he displays the ability to turn it off, turn it back on, but in this he kept it on, and whether that was a mistake and they was like, we don't have time to just film it all the way, go through, or if it's on purpose.
But it's kinky. It's that like
True
Blood.
Yeah, it's got some stuff
whatever
to it.
thing. I'm like, yes, this is
this
what the fans want.
But this, out of convenience, is also when like Kendra spots his weakness, like, oh, I know the sun will hurt that boy. I'll stake that guy.
And I took it too to be like, okay, and she's like, oh, you're like a vampire sympathizer. I'm going to kill you or whatever the parallel track.
Or just that,
she's
like,
not an assassin, right?
If you see a large, a pair fighting as a team, you might want to kill one of them just to make sure he doesn't interfere with you killing the other one.
Well, now if Buffy's like, once we resume and she's like, no, I'm the vampire slayer, what's going on? And, she's going to be like, I saw you with one of them yesterday. She's going to like do that. She's like, no, that's complicated. He's got a soul or something. Listen, just chill. Don't make me do the chick fight thing. I was like, yes.
I did like the chick fight thing. I would have liked it if it started with the hair pulling and no scratching. The scratching didn't seem like it would be effective anyway.
I literally had that thought of like, chick fight's more hair pulling to me. But in my head, whenever this happens, I'm like, chick fight! And then Joss Whedon again is, has the characters acknowledge. He has them go like, don't make me turn this into a chick fight or whatever.
Come on, don't make me do the chick fight thing. Chick fight.
Yes, awesome.
We see another gentleman.
Good day. I'm Norman Pfister with Blush Beautiful Skincare and Cosmetics.
He not only like takes over a stranger's house, but then goes to Buffy's house.
Yeah, very like coincidental, right? Because Buffy's not there.
I was wondering if I might interest you in some free samples?
Free?
No, and like if you don't know who Buffy is, you could perceive any bubbly teen to be your victim here.
Any cosmetic loving young lady that comes to the door.
Yes, I love this outfit that Cordelia has. It's such like I'm playing tennis, like this weird
Sporty.
little thing. Yeah. But her and Xander break into Buffy's house looking for Buffy, and this man comes in toting his things. We'll see more next week.
For some reason, of all the things, I'm like, they're fine. It's fine. I don't know why.
Well, in general, if you're a main character covered by plot armor, oh, you know what? This reminds me. This is the first time, I believe, the Scoobies is acknowledged by an actual member of the Scoobies.
Come on, Cordelia. You want to be a member of the Scooby Gang, you got to be willing to be inconvenienced every now and then.
He does. Okay, yeah. I caught that too, because Xander is like, if you're going to be a part of the Scooby Gang, you got to do this, blah, blah, whatever he says, outside when they're breaking and entering like it's house, and they have to go and like break and enter somewhere in between the plot. Yeah.
Buffy could be in trouble.
And what if she is exactly? What are you gonna do about it? In case you haven't noticed, you're the lamest and she's the super chick or whatever.
It's cool to like how this shot takes place, like hear them wrapping around the house, and you're like, it's a house. It's not just like a set on a location here. That's a street they're filming on, which can often look strange in a TV show because they're so used to being on backlots and sound stages that when you see things, it's usually a different team that is filming those things because of how union stuff works. So like they literally look different because that's not the same guy. But this I thought matched nicely. Okay. I thought it looked pretty good.
I was gonna say in retrospect they probably looked a little different, but that's probably because it's outside.
Natural lighting is gonna do something to it. Yeah. But no, I thought that looked good. I like that.
Yeah. I just like the whole flow of it where he breaks in and then goes and opens the door for her and, and they're talking the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a nice little, I'm like...
They have some good quip back and forth here.
Some good chemistry. Oh, God, yeah. Speaking of that, right in the beginning, I forget the whole thing now, but it ends with Xander saying, is murder always a crime?
Is murder always a crime?
Whatever he does. Yeah. Because, Cordelia's walking by and says, like, yeah, I help lots of people if they're rich or, like, attractive. And
you are neither.
Yeah. Well, like Xander, that disqualifies you twice.
Cordelia Chase, always ready to give a helping hand to the rich and the pretty.
Which, lucky me, excludes you. Twice.
Something like that, right?
Yes.
And he goes, is murder always a crime? And does something, I was like, this is good. It's fine.
Now, Xander and Cordelia's banter is probably, throughout the series, they have some of the best back and forth
stuff happening.
because they both hit lines in a certain way. It's the way they're like the cadence of their voices or something. I find they're both very funny, and when you obviously pair funny people together, actually not obviously, because sometimes you pair two funny people together and they're competing, they flow and mesh very nicely.
They're on the same page.
Yeah, their wavelengths are harmonic.
harmonic resonance. Yeah, no, because like other characters, sometimes the funny is how different they are.
Yeah.
Right, and how much they are clashing. Where Giles is and someone else, right? But they have the same sort of same school of comedy or whatever.
Mm-hmm. This one particularly, I think, was zing heavy for Xander's character. So much so that Giles even like snaps at him at one point. Yeah.
Bowling is a vicious game.
That's enough, Xander.
I was like, yes, Daddy's angry again. This is awesome. Yes.
I do like angry Giles.
It's good.
Not like
angry, like rubbing his nose and being like.
And there's a difference between like angry and mad. Mad Giles, not a big fan of. Angry Giles, I like.
Outraged Giles?
And it's not that I think he's bad when he's mad. It's I don't like seeing him mad.
Oh.
It's a little scary.
Oh, a little scared. Daddy's angry.
I want to walk in your shoes. Not your actual shoes, of course, because you're a tiny person. Not tiny in the small sense, of course. Okay, I'm done now.
One quip I did not like, however, takes place with Giles and Buffy in the cemetery.
Okay.
And this is actually right when they talk about, like, oh, police officer, law enforcement would be quite good for you or something like that. And, you know, she points out, you know, kind of rightfully so, librarian and watcher just work together, like not the same way. Slaying doesn't work with anything. It's like chicken and, like, also chicken. I'm doing it better now.
Yeah,
than she did.
her delivery there
so
was
bad.
and it might be because she's like, I don't have a lot to work with this line. Let me
No.
just say it, and they'll just cut this from the thing, but they didn't cut it.
Yeah, Giles, it's one thing to be a watcher and a librarian. They go together, like chicken and another chicken, or two chickens or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so like I think the camera's moving too in that scene, so they probably only had like one take or only wanted to do one take. I have no idea what the excuse is.
I agree that one stood out as
unusually bad.
Every once in a while, you get those moments where like you're trying to like make Buffy a little dumber than she is, and it seems like they don't play.
That actually is like a much better assessment. I was gonna say like just Whedon's humor in general can be hit or miss, and if it misses, it comes off the way people make fun of him, where it's like, oh, LOL, it's so random how you're saying this and being so witty for no reason. So that one I thought was like a super face plant, and I was like weirdly out of place.
So like the things I don't like about this episode are more physical and based on things we've learned in the past. Like in just previous episodes, we've had Spike break out of a bomb shelter. A door with a 3-inch thick and 3 feet of fucking bullshit.
And we don't even have the decency to just cut to like the door open or off the hinges or something. The door was bent.
Bent.
So we know that
is
they were
raw
able
power.
to do that. Yeah, exactly.
And then like another episode, we have a demon possessing Miss Callan. Was it Miss Callan at that point? No, it was a random dude, British guy, friend of Giles, breaks through the security cage in the library.
I see where this
and
is
now
going.
the back room of a bar is trapping Angel.
Yeah.
He's trapped.
You think this is funny?
And you see him like go like and the only thing holding that thing on is the tiny padlock.
A little
and I'm
lock.
like, come on, dude! What are you kidding me?
Literally very similar to the library cage.
It looks worse than the library
in
cage.
the first place. Yes, and he even pushes on it, and the whole thing moves, and you just see like the padlock rattle like
so
a
like
little,
the problem
just
is
to show how
the
weak
fact
it
that
is.
it's only affixed at that center point of the padlock means you could fold the door down like it was nothing because we watched a 3-inch fucking door get folded down, and that's like just an inconsistency that annoys me.
We could try to excuse it, and I think we'd fail though. I think it is.
No.
I think it is just a bad thing.
Why would we excuse things?
Because Spike said Angel was his Yoda.
Yeah.
And Spike, or maybe Spike had a henchman who was super powerful, but I don't think Spike would allow that.
No,
right?
no.
It doesn't make sense. Angel should be able to do it. Plus, he's had hours. She even like established Eastern exposure. Several hours till dawn.
Then I suggest you move quickly. Eastern exposure. The sun will be coming in a few hours.
So,
like you'd think he could break through the wall in several hours.
At that
like,
point,
come
just
on.
like claw through the wall.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Another thing I didn't like was there was like a childish book. What was it? Dulac? Whatever the guy's, the key of Dulac, which is like a cross.
Yeah.
And he's like, in my book. And it looks like a children's paperback book. And you're like, why? What?
Which book? Whose book?
This is a book that Giles has explaining what the key is. Oh, I think I found something. And it's like this thin, it's paperback, and it looks like a scholastic reading book.
Nice.
And I'm like, that's weird.
Dulac destroyed every cross, except the one buried with him.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
How old old could California even be? And I mean, like, settled California, period. Like,
no, that's true, because there's going to be a lot of that. There has been, and I know there's a lot more coming.
And you could explain, you could hand wave it away with, like, oh no, being this is the central of mystical convergence, this is where we bury a lot of things because it masks their power or something. But they don't say that.
No, but like the magic mummy was at the museum there. Now this is at the reliquary in the cemetery there.
It's just weird because it didn't look like anything special. It was a normal mausoleum that would be in an average, thing, and it breaks it in there. It's like, look, treasures.
And it's not like a world famous exhibit or something or something like a traveling exhibit that's
excommunicated. Like, I forget if they even said a date, but like like person from the Vatican.
Long time ago. Yes.
Yeah, very like that.
Why would it be there? Why would it not be in Rome?
And again, I could hand wave all the stuff, but because he is a random excommunicated guy with this key that is like kind of lost to the ages, and there's a book that looks mass-produced because it's this paperback book. I'm like, on that key? What the hell is that?
I think it had other stuff in the book.
I think it was a picture of the key on the cover. I could be wrong.
So you're saying these vampires went to all this hassle for your basic decoder ring?
Actually, yes, I suppose I am.
Oh my god.
I could be wrong. I might have added extra doses of dope, like dumb stuff, just to make it better.
I didn't catch this specifically. In my head, whenever they snap into research mode, I just like grab the bullet points of like, yes, you have to cut its head off, it's fine, like whatever.
Had it been a giant tome and a little, I would have been like, oh yeah, or, books.
If you had asked me, I would have said, it's some giant tome or something.
Yeah, it was so
like,
funny.
In my head, it's like always just the same tome where they're like, it's somewhere else. I'm like, how big is this book? But yes, no, that's very funny if it looks like I got this from like a website or so. I just ordered this book.
Yeah, it looks like
Amazon.
any paperback, like almost like a coloring book, or like the book you'd buy in the checkout of the museum. Like, oh, this is about the mummy.
That'd be great if he's like, I found a pamphlet. It seems to explain the situation we're in.
Great. So now I'm your taxi and your punching bag.
I like to think of you more as my witless foil, but have it your way.
So the book is there to explain what the key is and what the key's purpose is, which is that book that he had, which was in a foreign language. It translates as how to fix weak and sick vampires.
A vampire like Drusilla?
Exactly.
And it just makes me wonder how many weak and sick vampires have there been that there was a book about it.
True.
And why did an excommunicated church guy write a book about how to cure sick, weakened vampires? How do you even become a sick or weakened vampire?
I was gonna say, did I miss something?
No.
Okay, because there was a thing of she was almost killed by a mob.
Yeah.
That mob sucks. She's still alive. Oh, but she's whatever. And here it's all very vague. Spike. Spike is just like I called him Bike. I think I don't know what's going on here. Spike.
Spike, Bike, Pike, whatever.
Anything you got. He's just like, wait, is his name Pike? What's going on here?
Pike was from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie.
Thank God.
Spike.
I was just gonna say, wait, are you
having a stroke?
Are you subtly telling me that I've been saying his name wrong for all these episodes? Is my face turning red? Can you see my face?
I can't see your face. Are you in the room?
I'm a vampire.
Oh my God.
So you can't
Am I a mirror?
Well, no, your glasses.
Oh.
No, so Spike even says during this episode, it's very vague. He's like, to get you back to full strength. You've got, you're sick, pet. We've got to do a thing, the ritual, whatever. And his scholar guy is just like, purple monkey dishwasher. That doesn't make any sense. He's like beating up this librarian vampire the whole time.
Ile babula inter.
Debase the beef canoe.
It's this whole scene over there. I don't love it, but they get to where they need to go. They get the decoder ring and they figure out whatever. Well, they're going to figure it out, whatever.
I also don't love it because it's just I feel like they hand waved or under explained too much to get to this point. Unless we've both somehow missed this thing, and I've watched it many times.
True.
I'm not a big fan.
From your tone now, I know that they never explain it, which is very upsetting. I won't look at your face.
I honestly will say I don't remember them ever explaining it, but I also don't remember some things. So who's to say? Something I do like is you have another one of those things like the sore thumb comment, like, "Whoa, does it stick out? Did you ever really notice it?" And what is the whole 9 yards anyway?
What does that mean anyway? Whole 9 yards. 9 yards of what? Now it's gonna bug me all day.
And I know what that is.
Oh, I was gonna say I expected whoever she was talking to tell her.
You'd think it's a thing from the Air Force. The belts of bullets come in 27-foot increments,
right.
And if you shot every bullet at somebody, you gave them the whole 9 yards.
Gave them the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I looked that up when the Whole 9 Yards came out, and I was like, what does that mean? I assumed it was a golf thing.
Or yeah, like a sports thing of some sort. Yeah. No, I had forgotten, but as soon as you said Air Force, I was like, I know what it is. Like I knew it at some point. Yeah.
Josh throws in like this. I want to say it, but he uses some military lingo throughout the show and things with never a reference or a why.
Just a little thing.
Yeah.
He may be a History Channel guy. Who knows?
Maybe.
Do I like shrubs?
That's between you and your God.
Yeah, I like the line that Xander says there, where he's like, "Oh no, Buffy, you need to be here. Get the snack cakes. Ho-hos are a vital part of my cognitive process."
But ho-hos are a vital part of my cognitive process.
She's like, I don't really do research anyway. Like, guys, come on.
That's untrue, Buffy. You totally contribute. You go for snacks.
He's like, no, you're very important. We need you.
Yeah. I imagine for Xander too, just having more people there, because like, she's probably the only one that's also not 100% committed to studying and stuff. So when he wisecracks, it's probably to her, because Willow's into it, and Giles is the one saying do it.
I feel like it pairs off with like, because Willow's like yay, and Giles is like, oh, we're doing it, and then Xander's like, I'm
the only normal person here. Can we get Cordelia here? I hate her.
I can't read Aramaic. I don't know what to do with this book. What am I supposed to do here? Yeah. The other strange thing for me is this whole vampire slayer thing. I know that there are spoilers ahead or something, but I have my own spoilers because I'm aware that at some point there's another Slayer that happens. I believe it's Eliza Dushku. I believe it's like a big deal.
You know about Faith.
But I also, her name is Faith. See, more spoilers. But I thought that happened much later, and that was like, oh, the show's been on for too long. We got to spice it up. I don't know, get a new babe on there. Let's do it, or something like that. And it was some goofy-ass thing like later, right? So in my head, I was like, wait, does her dying in season 1 just eventually lead to that? Or does she like die again? Like, how'd Kendra get here? Is she the Slayer now because of Buffy's death in season 1? Does every continent have a Slayer? Is she like some Slayer from another thing? Is she just a Slayer of vampires? Or is she a vampire Slayer? I don't know what's going on, and I cannot wait to go watch the next episode to find out.
As the opening crawl thing tells you, that there's one born per generation, whatever. So it's not per continent; it is per the world.
Then how are we controlling the vampires over in Africa, South America, Russia, whatever?
We're not.
Angel, I was gonna say, but Buffy can't do all that. There's not enough good people.
Superman can't be everywhere.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, poor people have to die.
But I have this. But I have this like.
I meant that poor as in unfortunate, not as in poor people without money.
We know what you
But
meant.
both honestly apply.
Fine. Yes. No, but this raises like a lot of questions. I again still just assume that she was lying or casually stating it. I cannot wait though. This is such a cliffhanger in so many ways. I need to know what happened behind closed doors with Oz and Willow. I need to know what the hell Kendra means by I'm a vampire slayer.
No, it's super interesting to have this
also
to be continued, because we haven't had one so long.
Also Worm Guy. I don't know what Worm Guy's up to. But yes, whatever.
All kinds of wormy things.
No, it is weird. I was never expecting it to be continued kind of so at this point in the season.
That's what's so almost jarring about it, is because you have this thing where an episode is about to end because things start to really happen, and when they don't happen, you're like, wait a minute, this episode felt like it went so fast because I didn't get a conclusion. It's a good episode though.
No, it's just tight.
And we'll be back next week for season 2, episode 10, the conclusion of this part 2.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.